Hi there. I want to talk you through one of my favourite ways that a group can move through a decision quickly, intelligently and painlessly. And it's called diamond shape thinking. Let me show you how it works. So, if we imagine time flowing from left to right on this page, what we want to do is the first thing the group needs to come together and do is define the issue or the problem clearly. So we're starting from a cohesive whole, not a mess, okay? And that can take some time, but we want to come into the group with like, here is the problem. The problem is, how do we get these two teams to collaborate better? Okay, or how do we deal with a competitive launch that we think might be happening in September? That's the clearly defined problem. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to promote divergent thinking. We want to access the wisdom of this group. We want to hear different points of view. So this might be the first 50% of the meeting where we're going to allow people to diverge. And it can feel to some people a little bit uncomfortable. Some people are saying, well, I know what the solution is, so can we just agree it? But if you're leading or facilitating this meeting, you want to say, let's pause, we've got some good ideas here already, but let's just see what else is on the table. And there's lots of proof in that if we can hear from the diverse range of people, not just one or two people, if we can generate at least 2 or 3 options to this problem, then we're going to end up with a much better outcome. All right, so once we've allowed the group to diverge, we might say, okay, we're halfway through our time in this meeting, half an hour in or an hour in, we're halfway through. Now is time for us to try and align on a way forward, a decision. And we're going to use convergent thinking to do that. So convergent thinking is where you are assessing the options on criteria. You are maybe doing a little straw vote. You are hearing the pros and cons of the 2 preferred options, right? So that classic stuff where you're converging and trying to align the group into a shared decision. And what's important there is what we call alignment, not agreement, which is not everyone's always going to be fully on board thinking one option is the best one. It's not going to be unanimous, but they want to feel like they had their voice heard on the way through and be okay to align with the decision because they kind of understand the group's rationale. So that's where we're converging and we end up with a clear plan at the end. In the middle, point 3 is something called the groan zone, right? Where you're going to find that some people want to keep diverging and come up with more options, and some people want to kind of narrow down and say, can we decide already? And you have to acknowledge that and say, we've actually got quite a few options on the table. Now let's try and find the best way. So if you have 2 hours to work through a problem, or an hour, or even 15 minutes, this can be a good way of doing it. First 50% of the time, divergent, second 50% convergent. So that's diamond shaped thinking. Super easy to remember, works in real life, will make your decision making less painful, quicker, and better outcomes for you. You can download it using the button on the top right there. All right, thank you.